Welcome to the Saul's Newsstand News Rewind for December 18th, 2020. An op-ed by 60 Plus Association Chairman Jim Martin states, how Congress can kickstart COVID herd immunity. Vaccines do not work unless enough people take them. In COVID's case, experts predict that herd immunity will occur at around a 70% vaccination rate. Until the country hits that number, the virus will continue to find avenues to spread. Thankfully, a bipartisan coalition in Congress has a solution. On December 3rd, Senators Rob Portman, Ben Cardin, John Thune, and Bob Menendez introduced the COVID-19 Vaccination Awareness Support Act of 2020 to fund a wide-reaching, science-driven public advocacy program that informs the public about the vaccine and the latest health and safety data surrounding it. Few, if any, other legislative or executive branch remedies will work as effectively as this bill in boosting the country's vaccination rate. Most of the public does not reflexively resist vaccines. Nearly 70% receive the flu shot. It just needs comfort and assurance before accepting each one. Congress created the COVID-19 Vaccine Awareness Support Act for this explicit purpose. As the country enters the holiday season and looks forward to a new year, the reality of a vaccine means that the potential for returning to normalcy is just weeks away, but only if Americans get vaccinated. We would encourage you to read the full op-ed by clicking on the link in the description below. An op-ed from Senator Tom Tillis states, Georgia voters, we need you to keep Perdue, Loeffler in Senate and save America. When control of the United States Senate is on the line, the Democrat machine in Washington spares no expense to get the power they so desperately crave. If Democrats flip both seats in Georgia, they will have complete control of Congress and will pass the socialist wish list that I and so many other Republicans are fighting against. If they had their way, they would take our country down a path from which we would never recover. Medicare for All will go from Senator Bernie Sanders' fantasy to the law of the land, while American families lose control over their health care forever. AOC's Green New Deal will lead to skyrocketing utility bills, higher taxes, and will ultimately mean big government in every aspect of daily life, from what kind of car you can drive to where you can live and to what you can eat. Perdue and Loeffler are political outsiders who have decades of experience in the business world. They are exactly the type of people we need in Washington to get our economy back on track. They have both lived the American dream, and now they are fighting so that all Georgians can do the same. If we win in Georgia, we save America. We guarantee that the accomplishments of President Trump remain intact no matter what. And we ensure that the hard-fought campaigns we won in November were not in vain. And finally, Just the News reports, over 40% of voters think Democrats will try to impose socialist policies on U.S. if they win Senate. A plurality of voters think Democrats will attempt to install socialist policies across the country if they win control of the Senate next month, according to a Just the News daily poll. 43% of those surveyed said Democrats will, quote, try to impose socialist policies on the nation if they secure a majority of seats in the Senate following special elections in Georgia next month. Just 31% of voters felt otherwise, while 25% were unsure. The two 2020 Senate races in Georgia were forced into runoffs after candidates in each of the races failed on November 3rd to secure a majority of votes. Democrats, if they win both races, will have a 50-50 split in the now GOP-controlled chamber. But Democrat Joe Biden's running mate, Kamala Harris, would, as vice president, have the tie-breaking vote. Georgia has become a political hotbed in the weeks since, with President Trump and Joe Biden each pushing aggressively for votes to turn out and elect their respective fellow party members. And that concludes your Saul's Newsstand News Rewind for December 18th, 2020. For more political news faster, visit saulsnews.com.